All right, so right now, if you don't know, pretty much we have the double drop event on Demonic Beast, and I think also artifact cards as well too. So this is gonna be the perfect time to showcase the fastest teams you want to run on the Demonic Beast. Obviously, this is gonna be depending on how well your box account is in terms of do you have these characters. If not, you can always just use the method that you always have done to farm up the Demonic Beast. Obviously, this is just for people who want to just quickly farm it and just try to like farm up holy relic materials. So we're gonna go through all the teams, but as you can see right now, there is pretty much maintenance going on, and unfortunately, I probably won't get through showcasing the gear sets that I've used. But I'm gonna tell you right now, most of the gear sets you want to run on the fastest teams are going to be attack gear sets. Obviously, there are exceptions, like with Chaos Arthur. Chaos Arthur is obviously using the HP sets right now. Oh yeah, and I also have it on Escanor, just because again, it's Escanor. Doesn't really matter. You hits really hard regardless. But usually want to have an attack crit damage set because you want to farm pretty fast. Obviously, other characters have exceptions. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Again, make sure you guys like, subscribe again, and let's see what we can do. All right, so let's see how this is gonna go. Now, obviously, right now you can see pretty much in the video, I'm showcasing like the gear and stuff like that, or a little bit of the gear. As I said before, pretty much most of the time you want to rock like attack crit damage gear set when it comes to pretty much farming or quickly farming the Demonic Beast. Now, when it comes to the Demonic Beast, I feel like for the bird, the human team is probably the fastest team. Actually, the human team is probably one of the fastest team and most of all of the Demonic Beasts, just because again, they have so much firepower, especially with Roxy's passive, pretty much giving you a free chip damage, which could be very helpful for pretty much being able to finish off the bird pretty fast. And it's with low requirements. Like all you need is literally a single target that can crit, and you're pretty much good. Again, like I said before, it's only a character who can crit with a single target. I've seen people use like characters like Rudius, Red Levi, LR Escanor. Again, it all depends on you, whatever character you want to use, if you're able to use so with your type of box. As right now, I have Lancelot, which it could be a case that you probably don't have Lancelot, so you can always just utilize another type of human character that I already mentioned, like a Levi or Rudius. Yeah, there's like so many options. Now again, the whole objective with using this team is just spam single targets or your def damage attacks. Again, it could be very hard to rely on RNG with this type of team, but that's why we have multiple characters who have at least one single target, just so you're able to kind of get that to def damage regardless of your RNG, which leads to only a couple of occasions where you might not have a single target, which is very rare, which is why I said this team is going to be really nice, because again, it's gonna be very rare for you not to get a single target. And you can see I'm just flying through the demonic bird pretty easily. Now again, this team is only work on floor 1 through 3 because you get the last demonic beast material on the 3rd floor. On the 4th floor, you do not get double the drop, so keep that in mind. On 4th floor, you do not get double the drop, so there's literally no point of you farming for the 4th floor. Again, it's like pretty new, so it was already to be expected that you was not going to get like double drop events for the 4th floor or demonic beast. Again, the only problem where this cannot be as fast is probably if you get a bad passive at the end, which is I think the 50% revive one is pretty terrible. Unless you're using like something with a def damage ultimate or something, just because again, it's very hard. I guess you can probably utilize Lancelot if you have dupes, so you get a crazy def damage on the AoE. But other than that, the revive passive, what you see what I just got, it's pretty bad. But again, this team is still pretty fire. You see like right there, I did crazy damage. If y'all was like probably higher dupes, it probably would have killed, because then he would have took the full 100% of the damage. But because I'm only 5 out of 6, he only took 80%, which is why he was only left with a chip. So yeah, that is the human team. As you can see, super fast. All right, so this time I'm using unknown. Now, I'm not gonna lie, the only reason why I'm using unknown is just for the fun of it. Again, there's a lot of unknown variants where people use albedo instead. Again, like I said before, you can also use humans now because we do have Lancelot, who is a blue human, which blues humans was pretty much lacking in terms of usage on the demonic deer. So now you're able to use humans very nicely now. But again, I only use like unknowns because again, you have Jormungandr, who's an unknown character, and you also have Thor, Millum, and Freyr, who are very solid characters all around, which could lead to a very easy farm team. Again, you want to utilize pretty much Freyr death ultimates and also Thor death damage whenever she stacks up to her 300,000 damage. And you also have Millum, who also have death damage as well too. So kind of the same premise where you're utilizing death damage to pretty much farm the demonic beast pretty fast because you're chipping it slowly but surely. Again, like I said before, when it comes to farming fast, you want to make sure you're using the best firepower type of team. And that's why I use Thor and Millum. But again, if you guys do not have Thor or Millum, you can always use the human team. Because I already know there's going to be like somebody who's going to be like, yo, Marilli, I don't have Thor. Or yo, Marilli, I don't have Millum. You are free to use the human team because again, Lancelot is out right now. And he has like what, 3 out of the 4 characters on humans. Actually, he probably might have all of them. I think his banner might have all of the characters you might need. You got Roxy, you have Escanor. Oh wait, you gotta switch out a red character. But I mean, there's a whole plenty of red characters that are humans. Again, you have Levi, you have Rudius. Dang, I'm naming like all the collabs though. Who's a red human? Reinhardt maybe? I don't know. I can't even think of no red humans in my head right now that are like non-collabs. Oh man, that's funny. But yeah, again, right now I'm just utilizing death damage for most of my hits, which could be very helpful. Again, I feel like Deer is probably one of the longer demonic beasts, even though it's like super old. And again, that's because it has a color wheel and damage cap tied to it. So if you end up not getting the, let's say, color that you want, or you might misjudge your damage, you could end up where you have a situation where it could take a little bit longer. But again, as you're using these teams more and more often, you should be able to get a grasp on how much damage or how much character does towards the demonic deer. Again, right, for me, I use this team probably never because I already farmed all the demonic deer holy relics like a year ago. Probably longer than a year ago, probably 2 or 3 years ago. So I never really needed to farm up deer. Again, these videos just so you guys can see kind of different options or teams that could be pretty viable, especially for your type of account. Again, you can always make variants to these type of characters as well too. Again, like I said before, again, these are just examples. As you can see right now, I have Thor, Millum, and Jormungandr, who are both all of the color wheel colors. So I could easily use something instead of Freyr, or I can use a different type of blue character like Millum instead, or even a different type of red character. Instead of having Millum, you can use Freyr. Again, there's a whole bunch of variants you can always run. Now this one I kind of misjudged my damage because I thought Thor wouldn't do too much damage right here, or Jormungandr. So I end up freaking proccing his revive passive, which is pretty annoying. But I let it be just because I have my ultimates. Yeah, usually you want to probably reset right there and try to redo your attacks where you pretty much kill. But because I didn't really worry about his revive, I didn't really care. So I just ulted. Alright, so now we're on the demonic dogs. Now, like I said before, human team, humans, unknowns are probably the most solid type of race characters you want to use for farming the demonic beast pretty fast. Again, I'm using Lancelot, which you should probably have a chance to collect because again, his banner is still out. So it gives you equal opportunity to pretty much use them for farming the demonic beasts, especially again, like the wolves, because the humans are just pretty solid, especially because you have Red Thonar. Red Thonar was given for free plenty of times, by the way, for anybody who's asking. Because they always be like, yo, how did you get Red Thonar though? I'm like, she's been given away for free like probably 4 times already. because she's already super old. So, because they even gave away a free Summer Margaret plenty of times as well too, which is that's Nidhogg. So I already know like most people probably have a chance to have already got rid Thonar in a account. So you probably don't really have to worry about that. It's just about the festivals, which is Lancelot and Escanor. You probably got to worry about, right? So as you can see right there, I'm pretty much just farming it super fast. Again, we just going with our death damage. Again, that's pretty much the trend with these type of teams, that death damage just that solid. Again, the only problem with this is that sometimes you might get bad RNG, where you might not get the single targets you want. That's just how, unfortunately, it is using Thor, because Thor isn't really a good character. Well, not a good, I wouldn't say she's not a good character, but she's not a DPS character for your team. So she's kind of like just a waste on your team whenever you get her cards. Kind of like what we think of Kyo. Like once you get his cards, you're literally just throwing up afterwards. And that's what is Thor pretty much is doing right now, is that whenever you get Thor cards, you just want to look in disgust, because you're just like, yo, she's doing nothing of value to my team right now. And that'd be the problem. Again, she isn't bad or anything like that. It's just that right now she pretty much doesn't provide much, but just taking up space, which is unfortunate. That's why that could only be the reason why you could have a dead card or dead hand, is because you probably pulled a lot of Thor cards. I said Thor, Thonar cards. And I wonder if you can probably use something other than Thonar, probably like Nasians, right? That could be a great option. And look at that. You see what I'm saying? Like, you can get some bad hands, okay? You get some bad hands where you're not pulling anything but Thonar cards. But maybe because it is the position I got her in, maybe the right side means you're gonna get more Thonar cards. Again, it don't really matter to me at this moment anyways, because again, this is just a example teams. All right, these teams are just examples anyways for you guys to try out yourselves. Obviously, you could always change your positions on your characters, or you might not even get this terrible luck like me. Like, you probably gonna get super lucky and be able to get all the single targets that you need. Again, this whole video purpose is just to allow you guys to have example videos or example of play of me using these teams, because I could easily just do a video where pretty much I'm just recording the teams, but I'd rather you guys see the teams and me showcasing them than you guys not know how to use these teams properly. Now again, this is on Nidhogg. Nidhogg, we're using the Goddess team. Now the Goddess team, in my opinion, is probably still the best team in terms of wanting to farm it efficiently. Now that's the key word, efficiently. The Goddess team is the best team, because again, there's really no way of losing with the Goddess team if you have the full Summer Margaret, Freya, LR Elizabeth, and Mael combo. And it is, again, pretty fast. Now again, there are other fast teams, all right? There are other fast Demonic Beast Nidhogg teams, probably even faster than the Goddess team. But the whole problem is the word efficiency. This team literally has no drawback, and you might not lose to any type of RNG. But the other fast Demonic Beast teams that I could have possibly have used, you will probably have lost to RNG. And that's what I was trying to avoid, where you pretty much lose to RNG, where the whole run is dead. Again, none of the teams I've showcased in these Demonic Beast videos is that where the RNG is going to ruin your run. Most of the time, it just makes it a little bit slower, but your characters still live, which is my whole objective. Your characters still live, and you're pretty much in a good position to pretty much farm. And that is what the Goddess team provides. Again, is it slower than probably the other fastest team? Yes, but you don't have to worry about any bad type of RNG where your characters are going to die, or your box CC might not be enough, so now you can't tank this hit. Again, those are the whole issue when it comes to farming the Demonic Beast. Like right here, You can probably already tell I haven't used this team in a long time. I was supposed to use Liz card at the very end just to finish him off, but I haven't used this goddess team in a very long time. I low-key need to farm the goddess team. I need to farm Nidhogg because I still don't have the artifact card set for Nidhogg, which is, I think it goes to the squirrel, but it's not too crazy of a squirrel artifact card set. I just want it. I ain't gonna lie to you. I just want it. But yeah, as you can see right here, farming it pretty well, pretty fast. Again, there's pretty much no issue of this team. You usually don't want it to get rid of all 3 of the damage reduction stacks right there, because as you saw right there is that had an increased damage dealt buff to himself. So that's what happens when you remove all of these stacks. Also, I think I forgot to mention, for this team, you want to make sure Liz is lower HP than your Freya by a lot. Usually by 40,000, 50,000 HP lower than Freya. And that's so she can get targeted by Nidhogg, because she should be your tankiest character. Usually I run triple defense on her with a recovery rolls on the bottom, just so I can guarantee I have lower HP than my Freya. Some people do double recovery. Some people do just recovery. Again, the whole objective is to make sure you have lower HP than Freya, because if you have lower HP, she's gonna get targeted. So that's why you don't want to use HP/defense on her, because if Freya is using attack crit and Liz using HP, then that means your Freya will be the lowest HP character and she will get targeted. And trust me, Freya does not tank, okay? She does not tank pretty well. So you don't want to ruin a run like that by letting her get hit, because there might be a moment where she might get hit a little bit too hard and then the run is over. So you want to make sure again that your Liz is the lowest HP character on your team. Again, just run triple defense, probably recovery rolls on the bottom, and you'll be good. Now I remember this one where you pretty much be able to finish it off phase 1 first turn. Again, I have Mayo Holy Relic, so it's a lot more better in terms of damage. I think before, when you didn't have Mayo Holy Relic, it was a little bit of a tight window. But with Mayo Holy Relic, it is pretty easy to deal that much damage. And as you saw right there, I had the maintenance thing on. I guess it's because they needed like an update happening. Probably because something went wrong. So I was pretty much just speed running, trying to get through the demonic beast before the maintenance ended, or not ended, started. So I didn't end up having to pretty much re-record the video, or have to wake up even later to record the video again. So that's why I made sure that I was able to pretty much finish the video pretty soon. I think it was like it's like hour maintenance. I think it's literally an hour maintenance for the event maintenance. So that's why I made sure I hurry up, because by the time that happens, or by the time it ends, I'm probably gonna be in bed sleep. All right, so this time you're gonna be pretty much getting rid of the stance again. Again, we should be able to farm through the percentages pretty fast, because again, we are rocking the goddess team, which means we have a lot of usage of ults and buffs, which could be very helpful at clearing the demonic beast. Percentage right there, we just ulted, you're gone. And now we on the final part, where this is where you just showcase your damage at this point, y'all. Like, if you want to showcase your damage, this is going to be the phase 3 for you, okay? So all we doing right here is just showcasing our damage and just refreshing Liz ultimate back to back. This is where he cannot kill you at all, even if he wants to try. And the Mayo should pop off. Mayo and Freya should pop off during this. Like, watch how much damage I do with Mayo right here. Just watch. Just watch the damage. 11 million on my ults. Like, bruh. 11 goddamn million. And you see right there, he barely did damage to us with his ultimates. That's what I'm saying. This is a very efficient team to run on the demonic beast, all right? thought I was like cap. No. This is super efficient for any type of box you see. And that's why I try to provide for you guys. And now this is going to be pretty much the end of the video. So again, hopefully you guys enjoyed me showcasing the demonic beast videos, fastest teams. And hopefully this helps you out. So good luck to you guys farming. And hopefully you get your cards or drops for your holy relics.